Awesome. All right, calling to order this Thursday, October 3rd. This is the rescheduled meeting from September 26th due to the hurricane. Uh, Present is myself. Kevin Schmidt is not present. Henry's on, Rebecca's on, Mac is on, Scott and Jason are all on. Is that correct?
No, Scott is not.
Okay, yeah, I didn't have a little person windows up. Okay, Scott is not here, but we do have a quorum. So let us begin. The first item, I have nothing significant to report. Treasurer's report. Anything from the treasurer?
Yeah, I did want to let the board know that we have the 2023 taxes have been prepared. Our tax liability for 2023 is $1,404. So we've issued the check for that. We were waiting for tonight to mail it out, just assuming that the board will approve that expense. So we'll be all done with 2023. We also have a state liability of $250. So much better than we had last year, which was a lot higher, and we ended up getting the refund for 2022. So that's good news. And we also did the payroll quarterly transfer. So there was a $40,000 quarterly transfer to fund the payroll account. So that was done. It's an automatic transfer, but just highlighting that for the board. So when if you see the financial statements at the end of the month, you know what that big $40,000 transaction was. And we did have our first budget meeting Tuesday evening, and we'll have our second budget meeting next Tuesday on the 8th of October, and welcome all community members to attend. That's it from me, Mark.
Do we need to do anything with the tax paperwork? It's already filed and sent, right?
Well, I gave you guys the files, so it's signed, it's ready to go. So if you've already mailed it, great. I put it up for just making sure that the board knew that the taxes were done and paid in the amounts of the liability for the year.
Yes, Jen, we mailed the check last week, right? But we
Okay.
don't have to send any paperwork,
Okay.
so it's good to go. Okay, so I could just file that. Awesome.
Great.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, on me?
Hey, not for nothing, but the tax preparer guy, does he intentionally spell accounting wrong?
I noticed that as well. Yeah, it was just an error on the report at the on the cover page. So I
It's
will fix
everywhere
it.
he writes Ochoa Tax and Accounting Services. Every single spot.
I sent a
Yeah.
note to him and just asked him the same thing. I was like, you probably correct, not great,
Awesome.
but it was BAS, it's a division of BAS that did the tax
Okay.
preparation. So
Thank you. And by the way, while we're on it, Rebecca, great job at
Yeah.
the meeting
thank
last
you.
night. Was it already? Last night? Yeah.
Night before.
Fantastic. Fantastic presentation of the budget and all the issues and everything that's going into it. And very well done. Prepared, having all the numbers ready to go. I would say the budget was 95% there, and it was only the few surprise items that we snuck on you that had to be incorporated. So really, really fantastic.
$400,000.
Thanks so much.
Okay, manager's report is next. Unless officer, the secretary, anything to report? Henry's our secretary, right?
Yeah, I've got nothing.
All right, and VP's not here, and I got nothing. All right, Patty, you're up.
Okay, am I reading tonight? I don't have
Yeah,
a
go
problem.
ahead.
Okay, I could do that. So the hurricane cleanup was handled pretty quickly with the quickly and professionally by Tree. They were awesome. The way they came out, their response, they were there by noon, took care of it. We still have to have the stump ground, but they were more concerned with getting it off the building, and they were doing that with other people. So they will be back. Sunrise crew was there probably around 10 a.m. They cleaned up the lake house parking lot and picked up all the big branches that were around. So that was good. That is going to be an added expense, but for the safety of the homeowners and the way everybody was still coming through, even during the hurricane, that's something that I don't have a problem going ahead and authorizing them to do. And I did. The roof damage, I have contacted three different roofing companies. One hasn't gotten back to me. One came yesterday, didn't send me the budget, and the other one didn't show up today. So I will reach out to them on Monday, but there's no structural damage to the building. So it's safe enough. It's just we have the little pieces of wood hanging down. So, and there's no holes in the metal part of the roof, which is awesome. So as long as they can lift the portion, fix the wood underneath, and then lay it back down, it may not look 100% wonderful, but it's on the backside, and no damage was done to the AC and or the internal part of the building. The men's urinal was fixed yesterday. So I was just notified of it on Tuesday night. I had it fixed yesterday. The we have wasps nest up in the peaks of the building around the lake house. We actually have 4 of them. So I authorized the $289 for them to come in because it's not part of their normal monthly pest control. So they should be out and they'll have ladders and they'll be able to take care of that. Because when those wasps they come down and they started bothering some of the kids and stuff. So I don't want to take that chance and be liable in any way, shape, or form. The sod installation in the service areas has been done. I took Circuit Crossing, and I did those houses right in the front, and they were the worst and they're the most obvious. So we started with them, and there was probably like 6 of them, and that's also along where we're doing the painting. The painting has been taken off. We're having a little bumps in the road, but we're getting there. They finished the first 4 units, and they're working on the next 4 today. They started today, so hopefully by Monday or Tuesday they'll be done with them, and they'll be jumping over to Circuit Crossing. They did Village Center, and so there's definitely progress being made. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to go through it. The first 4 buildings are done. The project totally should last about 10 weeks. So by the time they finish up the next section, and then the second section across the street, that's, weather permitting. Hopefully we don't get any more hurricanes or any more too much torrential downpours. The street trees in Sagewood are about to be trimmed, thank goodness, and the pressure washing is going to start in late October, if not November, the first week of November, once the weather is more friendly with us. Same thing, the street trees also in Paired Villas are also going to be done by Tree. The next one is Sagewood homeowners. So yesterday I sent out the management report. So last year, Sagewood, they feel neglected because they don't have lights over by their entryway. And because they're gated, they chipped in $1,600 from the community, and they went out and had somebody decorate the front of their entrance. And they are asking for $874.65 for their electrician to come in and put an exterior electrical box. So because the solar decorations that they used last year didn't hold up as much as they thought it would. So if they switch it over to electrical and they have an electrical outlet, they're asking the board to authorize the payment for the electrician to do that.
And that comes from the Sagewood account operating expenses.
Yes.
It just depends if they have the money.
Right. I mean, it's a improvement. So if we have interest from the reserves, maybe we can use that.
Or even if we have money from the operating expenses, if there's extra money in there.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Rebecca, you're on mute.
Sorry, I'm looking now. I think Sagewood has a contingency that we haven't touched, so I think we will be okay. It's $800, you said, Patty?
$874.65, yes.
Yes, we'll be okay. So we have some repair budgets that we're well under budget for, so we have the money for it if the board wants to do it.
All right, the motion is to approve roughly $900 to pay for a outlet near the entrance to Sagewood. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Any discussion? Further discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Tell them Merry Christmas, Patty.
Thank you. I will. Happy holidays.
Yes.
Mazel
Mazel tov. So, okay, so the next one. Last week I sent you an email I sent an email to the board um about a homeowner that is upset about a Halloween street party. It's over in Westlake, and I stated my opinion. Rebecca wrote back, she agreed. Mark agreed. I didn't hear from anybody else. I want to have something in the minutes. I did reach out to the attorney also. I have not heard back from him in a couple of days. So I just want something in the meeting minutes, making sure everybody understands what the board wants to do. So
I'm
who
gonna
want-
wait till we hear from the attorney. So here's my stance, right? There are certain public nuisance things that the HOA is responsible for policing up.
Right.
If you have a barking dog through all hours of the night, we're responsible for taking care of that. If somebody's running a home business from their home and it is creating a disturbance in the neighborhood, we are responsible for policing that. That being said, there are rules against that are written.
Right.
So this particular event, I don't think there's anything written that particularly gives us the authority to do anything.
Right. Not in
So,
the doc. Mhm.
so to me, this is an issue between two homeowners until we hear from the attorney and he tells us otherwise.
So can I play devil's advocate just for a second, Mark? This is Mac.
Yeah, please.
So we have nuisance laws, right? So if I'm having I don't know, a party with several hundred people milling about on the front of my house, and that disturbs our neighbors, and they call the board and said they're having this big party, or I have it every year on this weekend. Is that a nuisance that we're responsible for, just like all the other nuisances?
So the other nuisance have specific things enumerated, like in regards to the business out of your house. It specifically talks about a business out of your house.
Mhm.
And then for the other things, there's timelines. So like past 10 p.m. is a nuisance. In this particular case, I don't know, Mac, which is why I kind of want to wait till we hear from the attorney first. Or until we dig into the books a little more. And that's what we're going to pay him to do, is dig into our bylaws and let us know for sure what
Yeah.
we can do.
I mean, it's been a while, but I mean, I think it depends. I mean, if he's basically shutting down a private street to have a street party, and doesn't have everybody's permission, then I think that could easily be considered a nuisance. It could potentially be a fire hazard, right? That emergency vehicles may not be able to get into it. So, and again, I'm not against it. I think they're pretty cool. I've driven over and seen the decorations, so I'm not an anti-decoration guy. I just want to make sure. I agree with you. I think we just let George tell us, what our responsibility is.
And then the question comes down to, let's say that it is blocking fire lanes or something. That's not HOA responsibility. That's the police.
Mhm.
So
Okay, fair enough.
we stay in our lane and do what we have the authority to do. But and the worst
that
we
was
could do, the worst we could do is issue a violation. Right? Like street parking, we can issue a violation, but you can't have a car towed, or if you don't maintain your house, or if your dog's barking all night. We can't come and take your dog. We can just issue a violation, and that's it. That's the extent of what the HOA can do. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Rebecca, you were
I
going
know
to say?
there's
I was just going to share what I had. My initial thoughts were, if the neighbor is causing a disturbance, this is something that you can call the police and ask them to come help shut that down if that's what they want to do. I think that's the appropriate channel, unless we have an obligation to do something, because otherwise we're going to be turning into the neighborhood police when somebody's too loud on anything, right? I don't think that we need to get in that business, and I don't think that's what the community expects of us either.
and the other thing is, the individual that has the party, from what I understand, he gets a proper insurance policy to cover injuries and damages, and he gets a proper permit from the county.
Mhm.
So if he has a county permit, then he's
There's not
good.
much we can really do other than if the neighbors are complaining about the noise. I think they should report it to the police, and they can come shut it down if that's what they need to do.
Right.
So,
And a permit is only required with over 1,000 people at one time.
right.
Now, Jason, you've been cut off so many times. Go ahead.
I just I know there's a convenience factor to doing something like this at your own house. Is the lake house booked for that night, whatever night they're planning on doing it? Could we offer them the opportunity to reserve the lake house, and it's just a $200 fee, and then that's not
So,
disturbing as many people, and it gives them a venue.
Jason, this is it's not really like a one night thing. He puts up a ton of he does the same thing for Christmas. He puts up a ton of decorations in the front yard and along the street, and then does like a multi weekend display kind of thing.
Like
Multi
Christmas,
Yeah.
like in the Christmas, and they have the Star Wars down
The
in the
Sifmas, yeah.
Oaks and stuff like that. It's very similar.
Yeah.
But
You haven't
the email was talking about, people being loud to all hours of the night and trespassing on their property, which is certainly a matter for the police. But it sounds like that's like one big party, which you could host at the lake house, and it's in the trees. It's off to the side of the neighborhood. It's not going to bother anybody.
Yeah, but his decorations are Disney-esque.
Which is awesome, and people could drive by and see him or something. But if it's a party one night where people are staying out very late drinking or whatever, that
Oh, no,
that
no,
could be
no.
a one.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. It's just they have trick or treating the night of Halloween. So he's got the decorations and the lights and everything. And then trick or treating is that night. And then they have a costume parade and contest. And so, the kids trick or treat right around there. And then they come back, they have the contest, and then everybody leaves. I mean, I haven't been there on Halloween night, but I've been there before. So,
Right.
and everything is kept on the homeowner's property.
Yep. So
So,
let's see what George says right now. We're not gonna do anything.
mhm. Wait for George's response and then respond to the homeowner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Concur. I all good arguments.
Henry, you have anything to say? I didn't hear from you.
Nope,
either.
I agree with it. So I just annotated that this issue is waiting on response from legal before any motion is made.
Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
So well worded.
Yes. Very
Okay.
true.
What else you got, Patty?
That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah.
Attorney. So we all have the attorney's report. We all have the violation report, and then anything on fining meeting? How's fining going? Is there a committee member from the fining committee here? I don't think so.
No, Kevin's the liaison.
Okay.
So Jennifer can speak to this.
I did send you the upcoming meeting, the homes that have been sent to the fining. So I do have 6 homes that are going before the fining committee. In this past week, I have had 4 of the homes send me information that they have resolved the violations, and I have taken pictures. So I didn't know how you wanted to move forward with those 4, or if you still wanted them to go before the committee or not. And one other home reached out to me that they were still working on things, but this has been ongoing for some time.
Does the board have the packet that Jennifer sent?
Yes.
Because we need motions to be made to move forward with.
Looking now. There it is.
Yeah, I thought I had it, but I couldn't download it. Now I can't seem to find it. So I'll try to go back in.
All right. So there are 1, 2, 3. There's 6, right? Is that correct? Am I looking at the right one? And then I see the
Correct.
highlighted one. So okay. So we have one address on Caldera Ridge, landscape border. They just had improper border in, and then they fixed that. Is that correct?
Correct. They removed it all.
Right. There's one on Jay Creek that had no mulch in the flower beds, and they fixed that.
Correct.
There's a one on Indigo Ridge that had a discolored second story of home,
Mhm.
and they power washed it, I assume.
They pressure washed it and it's off. And the
Okay,
same with the next one.
and so they're all clean. So the only
Correct.
2 that are left are so those 4 that are resolved. I don't think they need to go to the fining committee because they are resolved.
That's the whole point of the process.
I
If it's
agree.
resolved, it's done.
Yep.
And the other 2, one's a landscape border, and then one is bare spots in the lawn. You're saying they haven't been resolved yet, but one of them is saying they will resolve it.
They are working on it. The one with the bare spots in the lawn, they have been working on it, but this started in May, as you can see.
Mhm.
I do have a
That's a matter
question
for the
with
planning committee then.
the landscaping border. I know it's not in accordance with the pre-approved arc of being a PVC black landscaping border. They can still submit the form to ARC and they could approve it if the
Correct.
ARC committee approves of it, because it looks nice. It doesn't look bad.
Correct. They have not done anything. They haven't reached out to me. They haven't
Okay.
submitted a form or
Yeah,
anything.
no effort's been made on their part.
Correct.
I got you.
All right, so send the two. So we need, Patty, what's the next step? We got a motion on what to do with these two.
Yes, please. And then if you want to charge $100 a day, so move forward.
Would that
Motion
be
to vote on the
effective,
two,
effective tonight?
yes, starts the night that you guys do it. Mhm.
Yes, I motion that for the two remaining residents that have taken no effort whatsoever to fix their grievances, that they are fining me against the day at $100 a day. Is there a second?
Second.
Does anybody want to discuss? No discussion. All right.
This is the point of the process, and they can address it with the planning committee if they want to at the meeting. That's the whole point. So let's let the process work.
Perfect.
All right.
Can we just, Jennifer, can you read aloud the two addresses that are going to go forward? So this way they're in the meeting minutes.
Correct. 5932 Jasper Glen and 6303 Knob Tree Drive.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we do have 4 people that were fined from the last meeting. Is that right? We're in the process. We're working through Appolio to get that done.
Yes, correct. There were 4.
And so we haven't heard any pushback. We haven't heard anything from them, from what I understand.
Nothing.
So next step will be a lien on their property.
Hey, I got a question for you on that.
Mhm.
So if it's landscaping, is the current law permit leaning for landscaping? I thought that the law that passed this year
The
said
July?
not lean for landscaping violations. I'm trying to do some research, but I recall that, and my wife Marguerite does too. So maybe we might want to run that by George just to make sure.
Right. Well, if they don't pay the fine, we'll give them 30 days, and then we send the whole file to George. And he puts the line, he contacts them and gives them one last chance.
Right, but
But with the landscaping,
if landscaping is forbidden to give liens, even if you fine them, you can hold the fine and you can have it as an estoppel saying you can't sell your house so you pay the fine.
right.
And I guess you can even collect interest on it, but you can't put a lien. From what I understand, you can't put a lien on it. So we might want to ask George if you're reaching out about the other issue. And again, I remember reading it. I don't know where it is right now, but it came up in another issue. So I just was curious.
Okay, I will check. And then once I find out for sure, I will send an email to the board to update. So this way everybody knows.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, social committee. Do we have our stand-in for the social committee?
Yeah, Crystal's not on. So the only thing going on social committee is tomorrow is the movie in the park night. So fingers crossed, knock on wood, it doesn't rain. They
Right.
make the decision between 1 and 3 p.m. whether they will actually do the movie or not based on a forecast. So if it looks like it's going to rain, like 3 p.m. is the latest they will give it the forecast to clear up.
And we will
So
contact
right
people
now,
on Facebook and
it's Facebook and email. Yeah. If it's canceled right now, all systems go.
mhm. I have the irrigation off, so this way we don't have to worry about that too.
That's
So
great.
that it's set up. The movie is
What's
on
the
my
movie?
Inside Out 2.
Inside Out too.
Mhm. So it's, I think it should be good. And then,
Yep. That's all I have. That was
okay,
all instructed
yeah,
to Pat.
just
How many thousand are we expecting for this? Is this in the park across from my house? Do I need
Yes.
to move my cars to be able to get out? Oh, I'm joking.
nobody wanted to answer you, Mike, in case you didn't notice that. You
I
got a
think
movie
I think
night.
I'm not
You
sure
get to-
which field she's doing it in. It's either that field or the other one where we did I think it's the one where we did the Easter egg hunt.
Oh, great. I'm covered.
Yeah.
But that's hilly, isn't it? That's where we just had it last week.
Yeah. Mhm,
No, the boss knows I don't.
mhm. All right. Next thing is the meeting minutes. Everybody have a chance to review meeting minutes from September 5th. Does anyone have any corrections or concerns? Silence is consent. Motion to approve the September 5th meeting minutes. Is there a second? All in favor?
I
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. Minutes approved.
Thank you.
All right. Next is proposals from the master. We
Yes,
have
person should be shown.
the FPAT insurance evaluation and wind mitigation for insurance purposes. Patty, you want to speak to this?
This is just, I was speaking to our insurance agent and he asked if we had an updated wind minute,
Hmm.
and we don't. I can't find anything. So it was probably from when we originally got insurance through the builder and then transferred over. This
Hmm.
is the first proposal. I just wanted to put it out there as a thought and discussion point in case the board wants me to get one before um we sorry, in case the board wants me to get one before we renew insurance.
Are we required to have one?
No, it can save us on insurance. That's about it.
Can it hurt us on insurance?
No, I don't think so.
How much can it save us? Can it save us $2,500?
I didn't ask that. He just told me it gives them a better source, a better way to insure the property.
Yeah.
So
we
I
want to
don't,
make sure it can save us at least as much as it's going to cost us.
right. That's always the trick.
Yep. Yeah, Patty, worth looking into to get.
Is this a broker? Is it a broker? Like I'm surprised they're charging us to do are they coming out to do an assessment or something? I don't think I was following that
Yeah,
clearly.
so they come out, so you know, when you purchased the house, you had to have the wind mitigation, so it's an inspection.
Inspection.
Mhm. So it's the whole thing.
Yeah, the other thing is it's not just saving $2,500. If it gets you a better insurance company or a better insurance policy,
Mhm.
then that could be worth it too, right? Because there are good homeowners insurance policies. I mean, insurance companies and less good insurance companies. So I think that would be the other factor we might want to ask about.
I was thinking to myself, like, why would we pay? I guess if it's an inspection, it's different. I was thinking it was an insurance broker
Oh, no, they actually
charging
come,
us to do an assessment. So I misunderstood that.
yeah, no, they come out and they do the whole, so we would get all the information, everything, anything that's wrong with it. If there is anything wrong with the property. Which I don't think there is.
All right. So nothing to motion on that tonight, just more homework for Patty.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is the Bandit Fitness.
Yes, so this is the every time Bandit comes out, they're charging us like tons of money. It drives me insane. But the bench pad, everybody uses the workout bench, and we removed one because it was donated by a homeowner.
Yeah.
And we couldn't fix it, so we had it removed. I think, Jen, did we throw it out or is it threw it out? So the other pad is now wearing and it's splitting up at the top. We replaced the bottom the last time. So this is the price for them to come out and fix that is $259. And then there is a multi-station cable that is wearing as it's going up and down. So that's the 184. And I mean, 647 is not bad, but
Mm.
it did bring up, and that this will bring us to the next proposal, is I asked them, why does this keep happening? We call them once a month, once every other month, screws are coming out, there's all these things. And they said that we did not have a maintenance plan when we purchased the equipment.
Mm.
So I looked, I couldn't find anything about it either. So the maintenance plan will only cover them coming once a month to oil the machines, check to make sure all the bolts are tightened. Jen has gone in 5 or 6 times. Because the bolts literally fall out of the machines and they're just laying on the ground. So they'll come, for 310 a month. It doesn't cover any repairs, but at least it's taken care of. And we should have less maintenance issues because they're there monthly. So the first one is for 647.32. Do we need to repair those items?
Yes,
And
we pay the items.
I think so. Mhm.
All right, treasurer, can we afford $642 to fix stuff in the gym?
Yeah, there's some equipment maintenance budget that we haven't used. We're over budget on fitness, repairs, but we have other accounts where we haven't spent on equipment maintenance, so we're okay. We have the money to cover that. As far as the contract, I think if it is something that we want to have monthly maintenance on, I would just want to put that in the budget. We reviewed that at the
so you
meeting,
add,
the master at the meeting on this past Tuesday. So I would want to add that to the budget.
I think you did, because when you asked me about it, I said 400 a month. So I do believe it's in
Good. You're always
I was-
on
I was just trying to be preemptive
Yeah.
because it's
Okay.
needed for the amount of, I mean, that gym gets used 24/7, literally.
Mhm.
So.
Okay.
So that second is a motion?
So first thing is motion to approve $647.32 to fix the broken things in the gym.
A second.
Rebecca seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. The next item is they're going to charge us $300 to come out once a month and look at the equipment.
Service every piece of equipment, yes.
Every piece of equipment, treadmills, all of it.
They vacuum it.
They're
Yeah,
going to go through, they're going to test each piece of equipment, make sure each one works properly the way it's supposed to work.
Oil the treadmills and stuff like that too.
And they vacuum the where the bikes are, they have the casing around it, they go in, they vacuum it, they make sure every bolt is tightened.
Okay. That's a lot of money to come out once a month. And
If we're finding after a couple of months it's not worth it, are we able to cancel this? Is there any fees?
So it's just monthly?
It's
So
month to month.
It's month to month, right?
Okay.
And Patty, I think I mean we have had some repairs, but it's on things that are probably not going to be covered by. We're still going to have to pay for repairs, so we
Yes.
still need to plan for the pads to be replaced and that kind of stuff. So I do think it probably will help the longevity or of the life of the actual equipment, but there will be other costs that we're going to have to cover, just for the general wear and tear, the grips and the padding and all of that kind of stuff is still going to need to be maintained as well.
Absolutely.
all right. The motion is to approve $310.29 a month for the monthly maintenance plan for the gym. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
All right, Henry seconds. Discussion? Further discussion?
Well, the only
Sounds like we need to
thing
do it.
I have is, I mean, a lot of people use the gym. Is there any chance to say the friends of the gym would be willing to go and fix the stuff, or at least not fix it, but tighten the bolts and look it over? I know it's a silly thing, but I figured I'd ask.
We'd have to monitor if they're doing it or not, and then from the administrative side of it, Mac, I think it's a good idea to save a couple $100, but I don't know that it's realistic. It's hard to get the community engaged on a continuous basis, I think.
Yeah, then someone injures themselves while tightening a screw or something, then it's
Yeah.
on
That's good.
us.
That's a good point, Henry. Okay. Withdrawn.
All right, let's take a vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Patty. The next one is
And next one is a quick pro pump head. We needed another piece for the pump for the pool. It was
Okay.
under my discretionary spending allowance of 409.37. So this is just more of information.
got it.
for you.
Okay.
That's it's already
Next.
done.
Next item is Aquaworks pool splash pad.
Yeah, so these are the pictures we kind of looked at the other day. You guys got to see them. No, you
Mhm.
can't. No, no, I can't see. So this is something which I had on the board packet, but it's well, we got in a much bigger discussion at the budget meeting the other day.
Hmm.
So it's not something we really need to discuss right now until we go move further.
Got it. All right. So we'll pause on that. Pool monitor hours is the next item on the agenda.
Yes, so we have the monitor because we were talking back and forth. We wanted to see how much, if it was worth having somebody there all day and if we change the days. And so we can bring down the hours Sunday to Monday. Let me see. So right now, 56 hours a week is $8,493. And if we bring it down just Wednesday to Sunday, we're saving, so it would be 40 hours for $6,066. So we'd be saving about $2,400 a month through the winter months. But
So just nobody there Monday, Tuesday.
yes,
Seems like it might be worth a try.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to
I
it.
imagine, especially during the winter months, either we could either do no Monday or Tuesday, or just reduce the hours in the morning and the evenings, where it's going to be getting cool. Nobody's going to be wanting to swim because it's too cold. So
well,
if we
remember
still wanted it there every day,
the lab pool is heated, so people use it all year round.
yeah, but I'm just saying there's probably not going to be a whole lot of
Exactly.
like riffraff or anything coming. It's not like we're going to have people from other neighborhoods trying to come to the
It is.
pool at,
Right.
5 o'clock at night and swim in the middle of December. I mean,
I
hopefully.
agree.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Jennifer, you are the one that's tracking pool usage. Although we don't have any data right now because all we have is summer data, right? We don't know what
Right,
just like in the winter. So
right. And your hours will reduce too, that the pool is open too. Like during the winter months, you're going to go, I think starting November, it would be almost like 5 o'clock that the pool is closing anyway. So
Mhm.
that will be changing too. So,
it's true.
and this summer here lately, the past, couple of weeks, we've had storms and stuff like that. So I think that's also changed and altered the data that would truly have since school's gone back too. So,
Gotcha. All right, so the motion would be to reduce the number of pool monitor hours to 40 a week.
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Before we move, Mark, just thinking ahead. I mean, should this be something that we work with Securitas on for next year as well? Just kind of planning that. The winter months we have shorter hours. It's cooler, so just plan that. These 4 months or whatever we're going to have, or 8 months, whatever it is, 40 hours and then 56, because we've planned for this in the budget for next year. Based on these numbers, actually.
Based on the 56 hours a week all year round, or 56 and then switch into 40?
Correct. 56, then switching to 40. So during the 4 like peak season months, doing 56 hours, and then the other months doing 40 hours where there's less volume, where the kids are in school and things.
Gotcha.
But we still have, coverage every day with the, peak hours, I guess you could say.
When I've talked to Garrett, he seems pretty happy to provide us whatever we ask for. I think he's flexible on it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? Nothing else. All right, let's vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
I
Aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item is dog park fence addition. This is at the recommendation of one of the residents that our dog park, the small dog park fence, needs some small dog park fence installed. And so it looks like the total is $3,200.
The second quote there, Mark, as well for 2350 from a second
Okay.
company. That's for the same thing, right, Patty?
It's for the same things, but that's just for the install. That doesn't include the fence. So it's
Oh,
in-
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a total of
Uh,
5550.
Yes, for
Okay.
the second quote. Last month we talked about if
Hold
we
on,
had
so
in the
hold on a second.
budget.
These are two different companies, right?
Yes,
One quote, the first quote for 3,200 is for the whole job, complete the job.
Mhm.
The second quote is just to install it without the,
right.
and we got to go get the material ourselves.
Mhm.
Okay, got it. Do we have $3,200 in the budget this year to do this job?
For fencing, we don't have anything specific for fencing, but we do have some other. I'm just looking for the equipment. Hold on, we do have budget. I think we can use for this. Yeah, we have an equipment, like office equipment budget for 10 grand that we haven't used at all this year, so we can just use that. So that money would cover this expense, even though we're over budget for fencing. We're under budget here. We have overage here, or coverage, I should say, not overage.
We can either use that or contingency, either one. Right?
Yeah, either one we could use.
Yeah.
But we have other planned expenses that we haven't used, or other planned budget that we haven't used this year that I think that would fit this,
Okay.
Well, the
For-
equipment, because we need to charge the laptop and the monitors to that, our new computers, if that wasn't in that
Get the
line.
bill for that yet? I don't think I've seen the bill for that. Do we get it?
It was on my credit card.
That might be in what Felix has to process still
Okay.
for BAS if we got.
Yeah. So that was probably.
Charge that, Patty?
Yeah, we put it on Amazon actually.
Oh, it's on Amazon.
I would prefer to run this fence item
See, it was in
under,
the office supplies because we're over budget for office supplies.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe.
I
Sorry.
would prefer to run this fence item under contingency, since that's seems to be where it fits for tracking purposes, so we can track. Like if we run it under office equipment, then it makes it look like we spent more money than we did on, and it's not office equipment.
would agree with that.
We have plenty of money in contingency for this.
Concur. That's what a contingency is for, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
go-
not office
Yeah, Rebecca?
furniture.
Rebecca, you're good with that?
Yeah, I'm fine. However we want to do it is good.
Now, so we can afford it. The question is, do we want to? It's $3,200. It's going to be roughly that amount either way, because the second quote, we have to go out and buy the materials, and
Mhm.
I'm in favor of just doing the whole thing.
I agree.
So the motion would be to approve $3,200 for Anthony Construction to install the small dog park fence. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, discussions. Does anybody want to talk about it?
Couldn't we just make them bring a playpen for the small dogs? And
We haven't given the dog park much love, so
no, I'm
Yeah, it's worth doing.
I know.
I think this is a great example of a community member inspired project.
Mhm.
And somebody reached out to their HOA and said, "Hey, this is a concern of mine. Can you do something about it?" And we're going to do something about it. So
And I did speak to a couple other dog owners that have small dogs, and they do have the same problem.
wonderful.
So
Okay.
it's
So all in favor of the fence, say aye.
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 Anybody that is opposed and hates small dogs? Nobody. Motion carries. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
That is it for the master. Anything else? Any save rounds?
Uh, Not for the masters. I just have one more thing for Sagewood.
So, yeah, so nothing for Sandpiper.
No.
How's that anybody been over there to look at our fence that we had installed? Is it stopping the traffic? Patty, have you had a chance to talk to the neighbors or people
I've
just jumping?
gotten, yeah, everybody's happy. I just got thank yous. I haven't gotten any complaints. I keep looking because, it just ends at that
Mhm.
corner. And I'm waiting for people to start brushing through those bushes. And so far, knock on wood, we haven't had that issue. So,
The fence,
Great.
I think it looks nice, even though it's only partial fence. I think the shrubbery, hopefully the shrubbery starts to, or the hedging starts to come back a little bit.
right.
That'll be nice. All right, Patty, on to Sagewood. You have one item.
On to Sagewood. So this is a corner lot that we actually have put sod in this location twice. And we did it in the beginning of this year. And we put Bahia over there instead of St. Augustine because it's under a tree. But the problem is because the tree is there, it can't get any sunlight. It can't do anything. So this is a huge expense, and I know that. But this is my last resort. I don't know what else to bring in over there. I've had the bug people come. I've had the irrigation company come. I've had the sod people come. So it comes down to the tree isn't, it keeps the moisture in the grass. So it's never going to grow. And his location alone, this is Kaz. His sod alone costs us about $6,000 a year to replace. He has one of the biggest spots. Yes.
So because there's a tree on the lot, it's blocking.
Huge tree. It's huge, huge, huge.
So is this to take the whole tree down, or it's just trimming it back, right? From the pictures, it looked like it was just trimming back.
Yeah, it's trimming back a lot of it. Then there's smaller trees, and then there's a landscaping bed that he's going to clean that all up and then bring the tree. The tree's probably about 150 years old. It's one of the big ones
Yeah.
that we have at the lake house. And it's a
That's
beautiful.
why I was like, I don't think we should take the tree down, but I understand that we need to trim it back. It's probably prudent to do that anyway with a tree that old.
Exactly.
Is this okay, I'm looking at the picture. So it's the backyard. The branches are hanging over the backyard, over the fence.
Mhm.
Is it common area that the grass is not growing in, or is it his yard?
It's his yard.
Yeah.
And the house right next to him, the grass right there is totally fine.
Hmm.
So it's
Are there other options than grass? Should we just mulch the whole area?
Yeah, couldn't we just mulch it and maybe put some shrubs or something? I hate to cut a tree like that.
I know. Well, we're not getting rid of it. I don't think the county would let us get rid of it. But I mean, I can talk to him about that. But when he purchased the property, it had grass. So maybe just like do a section of it. And this way we don't have to take as much of the tree. We still need to prune the tree.
I
But
was
maybe,
going to say we're still probably going to need to prune the tree, so I think it would make sense to do that.
right.
But I think the mulch idea is a good idea because I mean, if we're spending $6,000 a year on sod, it's like banging our heads against the wall. It's never, it's just money going at, throw money away essentially, looking at
Yeah. And
the condition of it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but maybe not mulch, but like, some kind of green ground cover. So it gives, that something that a ground cover that can grow in shade or shade tolerant, might
Right.
be something if they're willing to do that, but they would not have a lawn to walk on it that if they're really looking. So.
Okay.
So
So what do we want to do? we got to trim it at the very least, right, Patty?
Yeah, we do.
And this quote for $5,000, is this just to trim it?
That's to it's to trim it, to remove the two that are in the back center, because there's two trees. They're probably about 8 inches in diameter each. And so it's to remove them because they're really not needed and they're not going to last much longer. And yeah, it's pretty much to trim it.
4,500. All right. Is it in the budget for Sagewood?
Yeah, they have they're pretty far under budget for their landscaping contract so far this year.
You said they're good, or they've spent
They're
it all?
good. Yeah, we still have $48,000 for the remainder of the year. So we're about 40% of the budget this year. So we're under budget per plan.
All right. So the motion would be to approve $4,596 to take for this general tree care in Sagewood. Is there a second?
Henry seconds.
Henry seconds. Discussion. We really kind of do these in reverse order. We should like motion first and then second and then discuss. But that's fine.
I do think it's worth
Hard.
exploring, though. I do think it's worth exploring. We have to trim the tree back no matter what. I think we have to prune it, but I do think that we should explore if the homeowner is amenable to it. I think we should look at, maybe making some sort of bed or something there that's not going to be sod, that's not going to grow under that tree.
Right.
It doesn't look good. I understand, but we also don't want to keep spending that kind of money for it just to not grow,
Exactly. Time and time again.
And we can give them something that they'll like, that will look good. And I'm sure it will cost less than $6,000
Right. To replace
a
the
year,
sod.
especially
per year. Yeah, per year.
Yeah.
All right. So all in favor of the motion to approve this general tree care? It's basically trimming up the trees and removing a couple crepe myrtles, but not removing the 150-year-old tree. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Very correct.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I-
Any opposed? None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you. Thank you.
And get with them homeowners, see what else they'd be willing to accept. Maybe a vine cover or like something Mac was talking about, some kind of maybe a
Ground cover.
flowering ground cover or something really pretty, something Florida friendly.
That's what we tried with the Bahia and it didn't work. So that's why this is our last resort.
No, we've got a few at our house that are kind of cool. They're really pretty and they grow well in shade or sun. And yeah.
Okay. Can you send me pictures? I don't know where you live, so.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Unless you want me to come by, I can have Jen come by and see if you need a violation like we've given other people on the board.
Oh no, you don't need to do that. It's okay.
No, my front yard needs some love. It's looking sad. I live on a corner though. Every dog in the neighborhood pees on my yard.
Right.
I just resodded. Come on by.
Because he got a violation. No, I'm kidding.
That's true. Nobody's exempt.
Nobody's exempt.
That's right. All right. And is there any old business? I don't see anything on here.
Mm.
No. And then there are no residents online. It's just board members tonight. So any final comments? Anybody want to talk about anything?
It better be quick. We have 15 minutes before the game starts.
There you go. Yeah. Rebecca, have you had a chance to look into Patty's back pay that was not paid?
Yes. Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to look since Tuesday, Mark. That is my goal, to do it over the weekend. And if so, just to share with the board members, Patty alerted us that she had per her employment contract, when she started, there's a 3% per annum, COLA increase, cost of living increase, that she should have received. Jennifer also has the same thing in her contract. Patty notified us that Jennifer wasn't getting it earlier in the year, but we didn't realize that Patty also didn't get it earlier in the year. So I'll go pull the the pay history reports. Patty did get an increase last year and a one-time bonus last year, and we just need to make sure that we're making her whole. So I'll provide the assessment after I run all the reports, so that way we can look at the cost of back pay for the things that we should have paid but had not updated. And I just wanted to say to Patty, and Jennifer, because that's not okay if we didn't pay you properly. And it's important that we, thankfully you raised the question. I don't think we would have known if you hadn't. So really appreciate you bringing it to the attention so we could make it right. So thank you for your patience there, but never be afraid to raise those types of things if something's not right. We're a bunch of volunteers, so we don't always know some of those things that need to happen. So appreciate your uh, being flexible and working with us and not being not just storming out because you didn't get paid. So appreciate you your patience there.
Thank you. I blame Mark anyway. It's okay.
Of course. Hey, I'm responsible for everything this board does or fails to do.
And then some.
That's right.
You heard it there, folks.
Let's see. Next week we have another budget meeting on the 8th, and then the goal is to finish the budget entirely on that day. So if there are any remaining questions, I know we had something about the golf cart, Patty. We're going to need some numbers for that. We're going to revisit the master that day briefly, and then go through all the service areas. So it's going to be another long budget night. The last one went to about 11 o'clock, I think, 10:30, 11 o'clock. So this is we missed a meeting because of the hurricane. So we got to get it done on the 8th, and then that gives us time to mail it out. And then we are looking to approve the budget on the 24th at the board meeting on the 24th. So the budget will be approved and then mailed the following week. And that gives the community 2 full months to review it before it actually goes into effect, which is, I don't think this HOA has ever done that before. So kudos to everybody for that accomplishment. What else we got? So once we're finished with the board meeting to approve the budget on the 24th, we can't take our foot off the gas pedal because then it is election season and we have 1 month then until the next board election. There will be 3 seats open this year, and then that will effectively enact our rotating seats. So this year 3 seats, next year 4 seats, the year after that 3 seats, etc. So there will be an election every single year. So Patty, we need to put out when do you want to start publicizing this? We need to look for candidates
Like
for those
now.
seats. Okay, so we're gonna start putting some things out, put out an email, you get some Facebook posts. Jennifer, can you help us with that? She's still on.
Yes, I will work on that.
Okay. Yeah, come up with a plan for publicizing that, and then you can just send us all an email and say, hey, this is my plan. I plan to post this Facebook and this email and do it once a week or twice a week or however you want to do it.
Okay.
That'll be one thing, right? Soliciting 3 board member seats. The other thing we need to do is solicit for a treasurer. Rebecca has said that she would like to return to life as usual. So we greatly thank you for your service, Rebecca. You have helped us get on board with BAS and our new accounting firm and our new bookkeepers, and you've done a fantastic job. And it has been extremely taxing for you, I understand. And so no blame for you tapping out at the end of this year. I appreciate your commitment. We do need another person to pick up those reins. So the sooner we find someone, now Rebecca's seat is a 2-year seat. So she will have completed 1 of the 2 years. So this will be an appointment. We will appoint somebody to sit the rest of the term until the next election cycle, which would be next year. And then all of the seats will be on rotational cycles. So we need a treasurer, somebody with, it doesn't have to be an accountant, but somebody that knows how to read finance documents and things like that. So if you know somebody, let them know. Other than that, Jennifer, this is something else that we would want to publicize to the community in addition to the 3 seats. So we want to do those separately, though. Those are 2 separate announcements.
Okay.
Other than that, I think that's it. That's everything I got.
Me too.
One question, Patty. I am looking at my calendar.
Mhm.
Got budget approval on October 24th, and then on my calendar, I have mail out HOA budget on November 25th. Is that incorrect? That sounds incorrect to me.
That's the latest that we can send it out.
That's the latest we can send it out. Okay, so we intend to mail it out before then, though. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else got anything to say? No? Okay. At this time, motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
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 Anybody opposed and wants us to talk? Nobody. All right, thank you all. Have a great night.
Adios.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Right.
Thank you.
Uh,